I saw this post regarding Ivory Coast, almost taking the same line of Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, asking the colonial masters, who happens to be France, to leave, to remove their military base from their territory. I don't know, this another AI-generated video in which some of us are spreading just Africa to be liberated. Now, if you live in Ivory Coast, I want you to drop your comment on the comment section, whatever you think about this video, because I don't know how truthful it is, but it seems to be true that Ivory Coast is taking the lead at the moment in that direction. You can be my friend, you can be ally. So long as you are a friend to America, for instance, you don't have military base in America, I see no reason why you, who claim to be our colonial master as France, having military base in my country. On what ground? Are we not independent? Are we not strong enough to defend ourselves? If we are experiencing some kind of security challenge, I believe we should be the one asking you to come to our aid and rescue. So long as we don't need that, you can't force yourself into us that you want to help us and protect us. I believe that is what Ivory Coast are doing at the moment. I don't know how truthful it is. Now, sit down, watch this video, drop your comment in the comment section what you think about the whole thing. Thank you.
Now let's turn our attention to Africa, specifically to the Ivory Coast in the west. This country is home to about 29 million people, along with French military bases. But that last part is set to change because the French troops are leaving. Paris has lost its last military base in the country and by proxy, another stronghold in the region. After Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, Chad and Senegal, the French military has been forced to leave the Ivory Coast. What does that mean for France's African ambitions? And why has the Ivory Coast expelled French troops? Our next report tells you.
This is Côte d'Ivoire, or in English, the Ivory Coast. This West African country is a former French colony. It became independent in the year 1960. This year, it decided to kick out French troops from the country. It told the French forces to withdraw, and now, the Ivory Coast has finally done it. It has officially taken control of the last remaining French military base in the country, and shut the door on French military ambitions in Africa. But the Ivory Coast insists that it remains a staunch French ally. While the forces will withdraw, some 80 French servicemen will continue to stay in the country. Why? To apparently advise and train the Ivorian military.
France is transforming its presence. France is not disappearing. 80 French soldiers, forming the core of an inter-army military detachment, will become, in a way, part of the French military for disciplinary needs and for training purposes.
This act marks a new stage in the relationship of friendship and strategic cooperation between our two nations.
But this is a major blow to Paris. It has lost yet another stronghold in Africa. After Mali in 2022, Niger and Burkina Faso in 2023, Chad in 2024, Ivory Coast, now, in 2025, and Senegal by the end of this year. Now, French military presence in Africa will soon be limited to only two countries, in Djibouti with 1,500 troops, and Gabon with 350 soldiers. France has been asked to leave more than 70% of African countries where it had troop presence, which is a far cry from its troop station since colonial times. You see, France was once a major colonying power. It maintained stronghold in West and Central Africa. It controlled several countries in the region, and by proxy, millions of African people. But during the 1960s the empire broke up. Though, France maintained its presence in the region by maintaining control of the military bases. For decades, it stationed thousands of troops across the region, but a few years ago a broader change erupted and transformed the region's engagement with Paris. It started when three countries were hit by military coups: Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. As a string of governments toppled, ruling military juntas replaced them and they started kicking the French troops away. Soon, other former French colonies joined in, with sharp criticism of France. Partially, for political gains, the Ivory Coast is heading to polls this year, in October. While there is no formal decision yet, their president, Alassane Ouattara, has signaled that he wants to run again, for a fourth term. So he may be leaning into the anti-France sentiment to rally public opinion. But either way, this is a setback for Paris, which has, for decades now, maintained military bases across Africa, to continue its influence over the region. So looks like Paris' colonial pet project in Africa is finally dismantling.
What is your take? Right move or wrong move? Whatever you think about this whole narrative, drop your comment in the comment section and follow the page. One thing I do tell some persons is the fact that no matter how a place seems to be so dark, the more you spend time, the more your eye begin to readjust into the reality of things there. If you go to a time, no matter how dark it is, you begin to see clearly and see every bit of whatever is in that same dark room. I believe that is what is happening in Africa today. They are now beginning to see the need to do things by themselves. Don't give me fish, teach me how to fish. Over the years, they have been taught how to fish, and today they just want to do it by themselves. They shouldn't be spoon-fed. Africa have come of age. I believe it's high time we do it right without spilling any blood. There's need for Africa to be liberated. Whatever you think, once again, drop the comment or the comment section. Share once again and follow the page. Thank you as you do so.